Good run for Bob Ballman. He had to fight the brake system there.
Beautiful job. Bob drifted cross track, and the truck has a tendency to pull to the left. You notice he spotted the sled on the right-hand. He spots the sled on the right-hand side of the track, and the truck has a tendency to go to the left-hand side, so he's trying to get as much track distance between the truck and the outside boundary. And right there you see the truck start to the left-hand side. Bob's turning the wheels, but they're not doing any good. He's holding on. He doesn't want to touch that brake. If he touches the brake, he knows the momentum's going to get him. Weight box puts the nail to him right there, and we'll have a measurement from Bob Bauman on Telstar. Good run for Bob. Beautiful truck.
180 feet 5 inches.
Have a tie now for second place. Telstar 180 feet 5 inches. That ties the Magnum Junior. And of course they're still behind the man out of Wheeling, West Virginia, Bobby Johns in the Kool-Aid Kid. Here's the Steel City Shaker. Dave Zundel out of Alexandria, Pennsylvania, taking a shot at the 188-foot 4-inch mark, which is our current leader, Bobby Johns of the West Virginia Kool-Aid Kid.
Well, Dave Zundel is the son of Bob Zundel. Bob has been campaigning this truck all year long, and he's turned the driving chores tonight over to his son. Supercharged 440 cubic inch Chevrolet. Now, most of the trucks you're seeing in this competition run a truck-type rear end with a set of industrial outboard planetaries on the outside edge of it. This truck runs a U-Moline tractor-type rear end, an old 1947 tractor-type rear end, taking all the power it can give.
Steel City Shaker comes up short.
He had to go to the sideline. It was drifting across, and a beautiful job for that young man. He's just learning the pulling game, doing a great job. There's his father out there giving him a few encouraging words like, outstanding job, son.
Here's Mike Hoff, who has driven exhibition vehicle earlier tonight, and now he is in the Blue Ridge Runner.
Well, this is a brand new ride for Mike. He's only been out a couple other times with it. It's a 1986 S10 Chevrolet, a supercharged Hemi KB, a big Keith Black Hemi motor called the Blue Ridge Runner. Let's see if Hoff can put it on.
Well, that mark of Bobby Johns of 188.4 is starting to loom larger as one of his big competitors, Mike Hoff, in Blue Ridge Runner, comes up short.
Mike standing tall, doing a great job, but as you mentioned, he's going to be a little bit short of that 188.4. Here's a shot of Mike as he rolls out with the big KB motor, easing into it, trying to build up a little ground speed. Should have got into the motor a little bit earlier. You notice he's just now beginning to get into it. Injectors are opening up. They're flat. Front end comes up, and truck here again. The track is pulling the two-wheel drives over to the left-hand side, and Mike's on the brakes right there, holding it inbounds, and that really killed the momentum on the truck. Well, Mike Hoff gets a congratulations from Bobby Johns, or Bobby Johns gets a congratulations from Mike Hoff. Mike Hoff ends up at 168 feet, 2.5 inches.
And our winner of the competition, of course, the West Virginia Kool-Aid Kid, and 188 feet 4 inches. Magnum Junior and Telstar tie for second. Then comes the Blue Ridge Runner, Rice Burner, and the Steel City Shaker. Among the regular sponsors of this event, we want to mention the people from Duraliner and Kendall Motor Oil and thank them for their continued support for these events. More pulling excitement from the Civic Arena in Pittsburgh after this timeout.
Talk a lot tonight about injection and superchargers. This is the injector butterfly, and this is the supercharger. The supercharger is nothing but an air pump. It pumps air inside the engine, enable it to build more horsepower, and puts air inside of it and makes it burn better. These are the injectors. Up on top of them, 3 red spots. When you see the 3 red spots disappear, you know the man's wide open and on the fuel. Butch Schultz backs in, and this is a brand new 1987 Ford Tiempo body with a blown 500-plus cubic inch Ford motor. Butch is a body shop owner and a perfectionist. This is absolutely flawless automobile. For a fiberglass body, it is beautiful. The motor here again maintained by his young son, Butch Schultz Jr., 16 years old, and a great job. Here comes Butch Schultz, wheels up and hammer down, look out.
Tremendous work, beautiful job for Butch Schultz. Front end was up in the air, and he carried it all the way to the end of the track. A fine exhibition run for Magnum Force out of Mantua, Ohio. Butch Schultz, a true competitor and a fine gentleman.
Exhibition continues now with the Avenger, driven by our friend Gary Collins out of El Dorado Springs, Missouri.
Gary Collins runs a 1986 Ford Mustang with a supercharged all-aluminum Hemi engine tucked underneath that fiberglass body, and Ray backing him into the box. Gary's going to test the drive line out, make sure everything's in good shape. First shot of Gary, big man in a little car, and he's hammering down on the big KB, the aluminum Keith Black. Ray will back him into the starting line area, get him all hooked up, and here comes the Avenger, Gary Collins, farmer in El Dorado Springs, Missouri. He and his lovely wife, Kim, and their children farming several acres there in and around the El Dorado Springs. In wintertime, it's time to hit the roads and go truck pulling. Gary running an exhibition funny car tonight. He also drives one of the finest four-wheel drive pulling trucks in America in exhibitions. Big Budweiser boss, and Bob, that's a wild truck now. That is truly exciting. Green.
We saw him make a heck of a pull with the Budweiser boss at our show in Anaheim. Let's see how he does with the Avenger.
Here comes Gary. Watch him.
Right to the end of the track.
Gary Collins really put the distance on it tonight. A beautiful job with the Avenger.
You're looking at the Chi-Town Hustler.
Mike Hoff out of Littletown, Pennsylvania, driving a Chi-Town Hustler. This car's sister car was a national record holder in drag racing. Mike Hoff drives the Chi-Town Hustler. Mike makes his home in Littletown, Pennsylvania. A blown Keith Black Hemi underneath the hood, and this is one fine competitive vehicle. Let's watch Mike Hoff as he hooks up to the sled and gets ready to go for the ride of a lifetime. There's a good shot of the injectors and the blower motor, the big pump sitting on top of the engine. See the distributor sticking out the side there, and a big horsepower. These engines that Mike Hoff built, the aluminum Keith Black motors, probably producing around 1,700 horsepower, running on alcohol. No nitrous oxide or nitrous methane allowed in this sport. Those are both oxygen-carrying fuels. Can't have any oxygen-carrying fuels. Aviation, alcohol, gasoline, the only fuels allowed in this sport. Well, Mike's all hooked up. He rolls the slack out for the Chi-Town Hustler. Let's see how the man does. He is Mark Tough. Green comes on the sled. Mike cleans the motor out real well and watch the front end go up on Chi-Town.
Right down the length of the track.
Bob, once the front end comes up and they're carrying the front tires up in the air, the only way that they have of controlling these vehicles are by individual rear brakes. And to touch the rear brakes brings them around just a little bit. Also lose a lot of momentum, so they want to stay off those brakes as long as possible.
We'll be back with more exciting action. This is Budweiser, United States Hot Rod Association Truck and Tractor Pull Championships.